Today, we're going to take a moment to reflect on the life and the truly unique legacy of Katharine, Duchess of Kent, following her recent passing. She was this steady, gracious presence in the royal family for decades, and in this explainer, we're going to explore why her story is one of quiet, but, really profound influence.
And you know this phrase? It really says it all. It's the central theme that runs through pretty much everything the Duchess did. Her legacy wasn't defined by splashy headlines or drama, but by her gentle character and this unwavering dedication to service.
The Duchess passed away peacefully at the age of 92. And a long life like that gives us a real chance to look back on the consistent, heartfelt way she chose to live it, both in and out of the public eye. Her passing was met with just a deep and genuine sense of loss all across the UK. And this was felt especially strongly in her native Yorkshire, where she was known not just as a royal, but as this warm, steady figure who, never lost touch with her roots. But to really understand her impact, we need to look at who she was before and beyond her royal role. She actually became one of the most noted commoner brides of her time, representing a subtle but pretty important shift in the monarchy. So, to get the significance of her marriage, it helps to look at the historical context here. I mean, she wasn't the first non-royal to marry in, but her wedding in 1961, coming right after Princess Margaret's a year before, was part of this modernizing trend, one that made the whole royal institution feel just a little bit more accessible to everybody. And this detail right here, it's perfect. It just illustrates her down-to-earth nature so well. After she stepped back from full-time royal duties, she didn't just disappear. Nope. Instead, she chose to work as a music teacher in Hull, where the students and staff knew her not as Your Royal Highness, but simply as Mrs. Kent, just a dedicated teacher sharing her passion. And this commitment to having a personal purpose, it translated directly into her signature achievements. Her contributions weren't really about, cutting ribbons. They were about creating real, lasting impact in things she was truly passionate about. A few clear passions really defined her public work. Music and education were absolutely central, which led her to co-found the charity Future Talent to help gifted young musicians from low-income backgrounds. She was also, of course, that constant, gentle presence at Wimbledon. And then in 1994, she made a deeply personal move by converting to Roman Catholicism, a very rare and significant step for a senior royal. This moment at Wimbledon. So many people remember it because it just perfectly captured her character. After a really tough loss in the final, the tennis player Jana Novotná was in tears. And the Duchess, she just put a comforting arm on her shoulder and spoke to her not as a royal handing over a trophy, but as one person showing genuine compassion for another. It was a simple, human gesture that just spoke volumes. So this brings us to a wider question, right? How does her approach to royal life fit within the broader history of the monarchy, especially in the modern media world we live in? Now, some commentators have definitely drawn a contrast between the Duchess's very low-key style, this focus on quiet, steady service, and the much more public, media-forward approach that we've seen adopted by some other royals more recently. But there's a more balanced perspective here. Ultimately, you're talking about different people from different generations operating in vastly different media environments. What looks like quiet service in one era and public advocacy in another, they can both be sincere expressions of a desire to contribute. Times and the demands of public life, they just change. So, as we bring this all to a close, we come right back to that central theme of her legacy, which is truly one of grace. When you look at all the tributes, these are the things that just shine through. She was a relatable figure in a world that can often feel so steeped in ceremony. She's going to be remembered far more for her compassion and her down-to-earth nature than for any kind of grandeur. Her focus was always on the service, not the spotlight it might bring. And this quote, it really encapsulates the heart of her story. It's such a powerful reminder that the most profound impact we can have isn't always the loudest or the most visible. True influence, it's often found in those small, consistent acts of kindness and service. So, as we reflect on her life, it really leaves us with a bigger question for our own time. In an age of constant visibility and public platforms, what does a life of genuine service truly look like? Well, the Duchess of Kent offered one timeless answer.